You're listening to the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wyatt. When you see this year's turkey stamp, the image, the painting represented on that stamp, you're going to see an image that is made by our guest today, artist Johnny Granberry, on the podcast.
This episode of Mississippi Outdoors Podcast is sponsored by the Foundation for Mississippi Wildlife, Fisheries, Parks, and Marine.
He is Johnny Granberry, artist, with us here today on the podcast. Johnny, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And you didn't have to come too far from southern Holmes County to get here, right?
That's right.
I described you as artist. Have you always been an quote unquote artist?
Man, I don't consider myself a professional artist. I'm a retired home builder.
Okay. Okay.
But 7 or 8 years ago, I retired and I started painting in earnest. And, I've always been able to draw. And I've painted most of my adult life, but I really got better after taking lessons with Bob Tompkins. Bob has a studio in Glasgow and just a fantastic artist and teacher. And he taught me how to paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I know this might be getting a little technical, but when you say taught you how to paint, like what goes into that?
Oh, so many things. Just you need to understand color and value and composition. Just a lot to it. Okay. And so many things that I never paid attention to, and I learned a lot of that from Bob.
So I look at some of the things you brought here and your work on the turkey stamp, but like I can look and the detail, it blows you away. Someone that might even see this, on our view on the camera, they can get a certain view, but I can lean in close in the detail. Okay. And so I think, well, surely some of that is natural ability. It's not that he didn't teach you how to do this.
No, people tell me I'm talented all the time, and I'm quick to tell them that I thank God every day for the gifts He's given me. And the gift I'm most thankful for, Matt, is my Christian faith. So,
does that inform kind of what you paint and how you go about it? That faith and belief?
Well,
creation.
Yeah. Well, we as artists, we can't hold a candle to what God's created. We can try to duplicate it, but we can't come close.
Sure.
We can't.
Sure. Okay, and so as far as painting images of wildlife, has that always kind of been what you did?
Yes, it has. And I do portraits too. I do children's portraits, mainly family members.
Okay.
My wife likes all the grandkids painted, so I do that. And but mainly wildlife. I'm a member of the Yazoo County Wildlife Association, and that picture right there of that that deer is actually for the wildlife banquet we're having in a couple of weeks, and they auction them off with the benefits going to Blair Batson Children's Hospital and the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay.
And that's about the 40th one I've done.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For like an auction?
Yes, an auction, just fundraiser. But it, I missed 1 year, and that was when COVID was so prevalent.
Okay.
But
how about that? But I bet you painted during COVID. You just didn't have the banquet and the giveaway.
That's right. That's right.
So these images, like of a whitetail and mallard, are you pulling from things you've seen yourself?
The background I just kind of make up.
Okay.
But the images I usually use a friend of mine, Paul Brown.
Yeah,
fantastic wildlife photographer. He lets me use his stuff. Anything I can call him today, and he'll start sending me pictures. And we still hunt and fish together. So
that's great. When we had Paul here, of all the hundreds and hundreds of stories that we could have gotten into with him, and I was really interested in, the photography. he got to telling me about a deer hunt, and about 45 minutes later, we were still talking about that same deer hunt. The details that he could go into on one hunt was impressive.
I was with him that day.
Were you?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so you were in on it.
Yep.
So
First time I'd hunted with him all year.
you were in on that. How about that?
He had this big deer on camera, and he got him the year before, and they found his sheds, and he kept trying to get me to come hunting with him, and I'd tell him, no, Paul. I said, if I kill that deer, you'll never speak to me again. And he said, no. And it was about a week before the season was over, and he said, come on, go hunting with me. He was coming back from a trip somewhere that got rained out or something. Mm-hmm. And he said, come on and go with me. He says, I've got to deal with mossy oak. I need to, I need to get this deer to promote their biologic products. So I said, okay, I'll go. And he gave me the choice of stands. He said, now this is where we found the sheds, and this is where we've been getting the pictures. He had 4 or 5 food plots. Now he said, you pick the one you want to go to, and I'll go to another one. So I picked the wrong one.
I think I remember him telling us that you said to him, if I kill that deer, you'll never speak to me again.
I told him that.
And then it went from there. I remember that now. So I've heard both sides of the story, Chip. That's great.
And it's the same story because it's true.
It's true. Yeah. That's great. Well, and yeah, so not only using some of his photographs to kind of pull from,
just reference material.
Material and kind of what you want to do. How many over the course, let's say, of a year, how many of these types of paintings are you doing now in your life?
Probably 10, maybe.
Okay, 10 a year.
I don't do a whole lot because I do other stuff. I do the portraits, and stuff.
Well, and you said earlier too, you've always drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Is this painting? I guess acrylic.
It's all paint.
So it's oil paint. Mm-hmm. So is this primarily what you do now as far as a medium, or do you do other stuff?
No, I just straight oil paint.
Straight oil paint.
Sometimes I'll use acrylic if I'm doing an underpainting because it dries so fast.
Okay.
And if I've got a deadline on something, I'll paint the underpainting with acrylic, which is essentially just blocking in the colors and getting the shapes. Mm-hmm. And that way it dries really fast, and you can go right to work on the oil. And it's just a shortcut.
Yeah. What's the first one you did way back when, where the light bulb sort of went off and you went, okay, I'm going to do this? The first one of these type of paintings.
Oh gosh, I really don't know, man.
You don't know?
I don't
so it goes
know.
that far back?
Oh yeah. I've been doing this probably 45 years, I guess.
Okay.
Something like that. Well, I've been doing one for the Yazoo County Wildlife Association for at least 40 years, and maybe more than that.
Okay. So for that organization, one a year, but where are the rest of them?
I give some away. I sell a few, and I take commissions when somebody wants something painted. I'll do it for them. But I'm not a self-promoter. I don't get out there and drum up work, but it comes. Well,
and does it come because the work kind of speaks for itself?
I think so. Yeah. And I've spent so much time in the woods, more than the average person. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of times in a tree, a lot of time. And I've seen a lot of different things in my day. Been hunting for 55 years.
All right. So now we're putting the clues together. So, background, you mentioned earlier, a lot of those scenes, the background scenes, you're kind of pulling from memory.
That's right.
You have some reference photos from Paul,
mm-hmm.
which that's a heck of a deal. One of the best wildlife photographers out there. Get to, work with him and your friends, but it's also a lifetime of passion and actually being out there. That's in there and pouring onto the canvas for you.
That's why I do it. I love it.
I was going to ask you that. You say you love it. If somebody said, "What do you get out of it?" How would you answer that?
Out of painting?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have that creative nature. When I was building houses, I had that same passion for building houses, and built a lot of nice, big, pretty houses in my day.
Is it then like you can, when it's done, you can stand back and look at it and see the finished product, and you sort of get that sense of satisfaction?
Exactly. The way I paint, I'll start a painting and I'll work on it a little while, and then put it away. Mm-hmm. Don't look at it. And then look at it again a few days after it's dried a little bit, and immediately you see something you want to change or add. Or whatever. It's just when you're just working on it for like hours at a time, you get lost and you can't see what you need to do. And after being away from it and looking at it again, you say, well, this needs to be darker, this needs to be lighter, this leg on this deer doesn't look right. You just, and I just keep working on them and fix what I perceive as being wrong with them. That's just the way I paint, and that's, most artists will tell you that's not the way to paint.
Well, I was going to say, I think, wouldn't that be tough to step away from it? It doesn't come natural to you, I bet, to step away and leave it for a little while. You want to stay in there. I'm
usually working on 2 or 3 different paintings at a time, so really? I can take one and put it down somewhere and let it start drying. Because when the paint dries, dark colors typically dry lighter and light colors dry darker. So you have to let it dry to see what you got. And looking at it after being away from it for a while, you almost immediately see what you need to do.
Yeah. So, if somebody sees this, listens to this show, and they've got a wild game supper, or they've got an upcoming event with an auction, and your phone starts ringing with more requests, is there time to do more, or are you kind of full?
Well, I get a lot of requests to donate to different causes and stuff, and some of them I do, and some of them I don't. But all depends on what's going on with me.
Sure. Okay, so this year, the 2026 turkey stamp, that's your artwork. What's the story behind that? How'd that happen?
Well, a guy I met texted me and told me about the contest and sent me what was going on. I'm stuck out there in the woods, and I don't see a lot of people, and I'm not on social media. I had no idea. And he sent it to me, and I thanked him, and I got to work on it right away. And he was, as I progressed with it, I'd send him a picture of it and show him, this is what I'm doing. And he was just thrilled and so happy that he was the one that told me about it. And I'm going to do something for him one day. But anyway, that's how it came about. And I just, I found a couple of turkey pictures that Paul had taken that I liked, and I started painting them, and then worked the background around them and changed the background, changed this and changed that. I worked on that painting probably over a course of about 2 months.
Wow.
And it's a small painting. 8.5 by 11 is a small painting.
Okay, about the size of notebook paper.
Yes, and it takes, it's hard to get that much detail in a little bitty painting like that. But I had some magnifying glasses, and I got her done.
That's great.
And
so once it's done, then you have this physical painting to submit it. Where'd you take it? Who'd you take it to?
Brought it here.
Brought it here.
Yes, brought it here.
To Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks.
There was a deadline, and I brought it, and they wanted in a 9 by 12 envelope, and I put it in an envelope and brought it here, and left it. And
was that hard to leave it?
No. Why?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm just thinking, okay, you worked on it for 2 months.
Yeah.
And there's one of them. And to put it in an envelope and leave it, it's kind of like your baby.
Well, I painted it for the specific purpose of winning the contest.
Yeah.
And soon as I painted it and started and showed Paul the composition, he said, "That's a winner." He said, "That's going to win." I'm glad you got confidence.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. All my life I've been known for a lot of different things. A good house builder. The main thing that people know me for is my deer hunting abilities, and it's good. It's good to be known for something other than that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's again, I look at these. And you just these three examples that you brought. If you would describe them for us, kind of describe these paintings for us, the story behind each one.
Well,
Chip can show pictures to our audience while you talk about it.
Well, this one here is actually a print of a bigger painting that I did.
Okay.
And one of my neighbors bought it from me, and I decided to have a giclée, which is a print on canvas made of it. And I just made it all up. That's one of Paul's deer that he had a photograph of, and I found in my mind something I thought it would go with, and I put it together like that. And like I say, I change them as I go. Mm-hmm.
Was that one done recently?
No, that's about 2 years old.
Okay.
And I did this one recently. I had the mallards. I had done a big painting for a man in Oxford, and when I got through it, it was a pair of mallards, a hen and a drake coming in, and I enjoyed doing the ducks. I hadn't done a whole lot of ducks. I enjoyed doing them because of the bright colors.
Sure.
And so I said, well, I'm just going to do another one for the studio. So I painted that, and that hangs in my studio.
Okay. Man, that's gorgeous.
And that one, I like the pose of the deer, and of course, I changed the rack on it a couple of times. I had a real tall rack, and my son told me, that doesn't look right. So I said, well, I'll keep working on it, and I changed it up, and then just start adding stuff to it, and till I'm satisfied it looks okay.
Yeah. And one this size, these two, they're fairly large. Is that a 2-month process or longer?
No, I probably have 2 months in that because I was working on other stuff at the time. But that's not working every day. That's working a few hours here and a few hours there.
Okay.
And but it now this painting, it didn't take that long to do because it's not a lot of detail in it.
And maybe this is a dumb question, but from a background standpoint too, it's the background, mostly sky and beyond the horizon. So when you say detail, unlike here, background is full of pines and, or cedars or evergreen and all the details of leaves, I guess. So it's just less time on the background to be spent.
That's right. It goes real fast.
Yeah.
And, the background on most of them, like I said, I just kind of make them up. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many different things in the woods. I've got some hunting stories you wouldn't believe. But,
have you ever been on a hunt and seen something or something happens and you think, I'm painting this? And then the moment you see it, that it'll turn into a painting for you?
Yeah.
Really?
I was over in Yazoo Refuge this past December.
Yeah.
And we were rifle hunting. It was a senior citizen hunt, and a couple of friends of mine, and I went over there, and I went out in Swan Lake. And Swan Lake was dry, and I walked out in there, and I saw the most beautiful cypress trees and these tall cypress knees, and the sun was shining. It was just beautiful, and I snapped some photographs with my phone just with the intent of using them in a painting, and I will one day. Mm-hmm. I will use them.
Yeah, that's neat.
And, I've seen on the turkey stamp, the turkey, I've got a beech nut tree in the painting, and the primary turkey on the stamp is in front of the beech nut tree, and it's a big hollow in the tree where it's dark, and that just makes the turkey's head pop out, being against that dark background. And I've seen so many of those big hollow beech nut trees through the years. I just had to use one.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is for someone listening that's thinking, I'd like to see some of Johnny's paintings, is there somewhere they can go and look at them?
I'm not represented by any gallery or anything. I really don't do that many that I could have them in a lot of places. I have a few in my studio, but I kind of keep that kind of private.
Yeah.
So, if somebody was interested in me doing something for them, they can contact me, and I'll be glad to talk to them.
How do they contact you?
My phone, text.
Or look, if you run across Paul Brown toting a camera and a tripod somewhere, ask him. He can get in touch with you.
That's right. He was up about a week or so ago. We went deer hunting. Yeah.
It sounds like it's, we talk about passion. People bring up, passion for this or passion for that. It almost sounds like, your passion for creating the artwork is not just creating the artwork itself. It's very woven into your passion as a hunter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And those two things, they're running together, aren't they?
I have a good friend that when my wife sometimes will put my paintings on Facebook, which I don't like her to do that, but she does it. And he'll make the comment that I've been there. I've seen that before, So
yeah.
And he's right. A lot of the stuff I paint I have seen before, but a lot of it I just imagine it, and seen something like it. I guarantee you.
Yeah. But you mentioned a deer hunting story.
Okay.
And if it tops Paul's, then we're going to order in.
No, it's not going to be that long. I was hunting one time with black powder, with a muzzleloader. And it was just breaking day, and I look out there, and here's a nice 8-point walking straight towards me. And I knew he was fixing to see me, so I got the gun. I had an old 50 caliber Thompson Center Hawken muzzleloader. And I picked the gun up and shot the deer. Of course, the smoke, if you've ever shot a muzzleloader with black powder, you know the smoke. And the smoke just went, and when the smoke was halfway cleared, I looked up and the deer was running right at me. And he came right here. And he had his head out like this, and I took my gun and hit him across the back of the neck, trying to knock him down because I thought I'd hit him, and broke my muzzleloader half in two.
Over his neck.
And I saw him go out of sight, and that was the last I ever saw of that deer.
Oh, Johnny. So you missed him. But you got another shot at him, just not a shot. You got to swing at him.
I'd been better off with a baseball bat, I think.
Yeah. Now, not that I or anyone would ever say that you ought to paint something, but I would love to see if there's a way, action shot, almost like, you hear war stories of things going, kind of devolving into hand-to-hand combat. That's what happened to you. I really do appreciate you coming and giving us some time, Johnny. It's great to meet you. And I think we're going to have to do it again, get back together again.
Oh, yeah.
Because as good as the paintings are, and they are world class.
Appreciate the kind words.
I'm not so sure that the stories aren't even better. Really appreciate you coming by.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
He is Johnny Granberry here on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast. Thanks for listening. I enjoyed that. Hope you did too. Thanks for listening. We'll see you outdoors.